say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And it goes a little something like this.
But please, be careful.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Miami Beach Mayor Matty Bauer and Miami-Dade County Mayor Carlos Jimenez.
We even have two mics. Which one you want to try out?
I'll try this one. Oh,
No,
I'll do the piano.
dance?
Yeah.
You do the piano?
No,
Go
I don't
ahead,
think so.
I'll sing. Welcome.
Are we going to go on the road or something, you and I? Is that
We
what we're going to
could.
do? Okay, all right.
We could.
All right, I guess we can.
What's you going to do next to those policemen?
I'm going to learn a couple of those
I want to
moves,
learn.
Donna.
I want to learn so I can hit them here. Okay. Welcome. Welcome to Miami Beach. Welcome to the symphony. And welcome to celebrating the Greater Miami Beach Bureau Convention. Too long. Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's so nice to be here. This place is wonderful, or what? Carlos and I were talking about it. This is our work, right?
That's right. There was over $40 million from Miami-Dade County and the city of Miami Beach that made this place possible, and it really is a commitment that both the county and the city have to art and culture in this community, which again drives your business.
There you go. It is here for everyone to enjoy. And I think the symphony is doing a very good job trying to bring in people. They are giving the city of Miami Beach tickets for the elderly. We have given out over 200 tickets for the elderly to come here, and I think they have enjoyed it immensely. So I want to thank them for that, because that has been terrific. I want to welcome you all. It has been 25 years. You have a spare speech, a prepared speech? Well, I don't.
Okay.
I do it, I give what I give, and what I can't give, I don't give. But to the Bureau, I'm going to give, because the Bureau has been with me for the 12 years, actually, that I have been here now, which will be this November, 12 years. And we have fought a lot, but we have accomplished a lot. And I have to thank them that for the past 25 years, they've been dealing with the politics of this county, which is not easy, either at the county or at the cities. So for them to accomplish the job that they have accomplished, and I'm sure Bill is going to speak, right? He'll give you all the details, because I don't have any details. But I know for a fact that July, which is the worst month here, was the best July ever that we've had. Ever. Not of any, ever. Which means that they're doing their job, we're doing their job, you're doing your job. So I want to welcome to celebrate with them the 25 years of doing a great job. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Maddie. And you've been in for 12 years. I've only been in for about 3 months, and it's good.
You've been sitting as a commissioner.
I know.
I haven't been
but
12 years, Mayor.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I've only been 3 months. But anyway, as Mayor of Miami-Dade County, I'm pleased to welcome you to our community. And it's great to be here with all of you here in this beautiful city of Miami Beach. And congratulations, Mayor Bauer, on such a beautiful city, also such a beautiful, beautiful hall. And it's great to be with you again. And, it's not easy to head back over the causeway after spending some time over here on Miami Beach. So thank you for welcoming me. As you know, we're gathered here today for the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau annual meeting. And today's meeting is a bit more special than most. This marks the Bureau's 25th year of successfully marketing and selling our community to the world. And to that end, the Bureau has done a great job of keeping us at the top of the list for travelers around the globe. Without a doubt, the tourism and convention industry is a vital part of our community and our economy. And given the economic challenges that our entire country faces, it's now more vital than ever. The tourism industry here in Miami-Dade County continues to retain local jobs and create new ones. And that's a very, very good thing. This year alone, we've had more than 13 million overnight visitors, all of whom pump money into our local economy. And so much of the Bureau's success begins with Bill Talbot. Hence, my congratulations to you, Bill. who has dedicated decades of his career to our community. Bill, thanks for 21 great years at the Bureau and your efforts on behalf of Miami-Dade County. At this point, I'm pleased to present you and the Bureau with a proclamation from Miami-Dade County. And if I could have my colleague from the Miami-Dade County please come up and join me, Commissioner Rebecca Sosa, District 6.
I have a proclamation too, right? I forgot about my proclamation.
Maddie, if you want to do yours first,
Whichever.
go ahead.
I had one, I forgot. I didn't want to give this much. No. Come on up. There you are. Is that a microphone or a telephone? Ah. Well, let me give my first. Diddy, would you come up? Is any of the other commissioners here? You could come up, please. George, would you like to come up? Please. Please.
Come on down.
Come on down. Well, this proclamation says a little bit better what I said before, so I'm not going to read it, but this is Dee Dee. Come on in. And George, please come in. 25 years, 21 of yours?
I've been at the Bureau 21 years.
21 years of his life, 25 years the Bureau has been trying to bring tourism, conventions, and wealth to Miami and Miami Beach.
And jobs.
And job. Well, wealth is jobs. When you have wealth, you have a job. If you don't have a job, you don't have any wealth.
That's why she's mayor.
Right. That's the way it is. And so, see, I'm a frustrated comedian. And even though I have one running against me, I'm better than him, actually. So, we really have I don't give many proclamations anymore. I have held them back, right, Diddy? Yeah, they got very angry at me, but I give proclamations when a proclamation is deserved, and I think the Bureau really deserves the proclamation for its tenacity of doing this job for such a long time and to continue to argue when it needs the argument and to love us when we need the love. So thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you. Thank you. Dee Dee.
Okay, now Bill, we have a proclamation for you. And it reads, whereas the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau is a sales and marketing organization with a mission to attract, encourage, and induce persons and associations to visit Greater Miami and its beaches for conventions, business, and pleasure. And whereas the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau is a private-public partnership with more than 1,000 private business members and 4 local governments, Miami-Dade, City of Miami Beach, the City of Miami, and the Village of Bal Harbor. And whereas the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau supports all community activities that enhance Greater Miami and its beaches as an attractive and desirable place. And whereas the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau members are comprised of professionally and ethically diverse individuals from hotels, cruise lines, airlines, banks, attractions, restaurants, retail, government, civic, and other organizations. And whereas, as the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau hosts their annual meeting in commemoration of their 25th anniversary, it is only fitting that Miami-Dade County applaud them on reaching such an outstanding milestone. Now, therefore, be resolved that I, Carlos Jimenez, Mayor of Miami-Dade County, Chairman Joey Martinez, and the members of the Board of County Commissioners, on behalf of Miami-Dade County and this community, do hereby proclaim Monday, October 24, 2011, as Greater Miami Conventions and Visitors Bureau 25th Anniversary Day. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. very fortunate to have great elected and appointed officials that you just heard from. Normally, I would recognize all the VIPs in the room, but everybody here is a VIP. I think we have the mayor of Sunny Isles Beach, Norman Edelcup. There you are. Sorry, Mayor. Thank you for being here. We have a number of our partners. I know most of you in the room, and I could sit here and name you all off and tell you why you're great friends and why you're great supporters. But I think the mayor of Miami Beach and the mayor of the county, I think, have said it best. It's not about me. It's about all of us working together. And we're going to be able to do at the end to celebrate some of the history. You know, there were a lot of people who worked a long time. You know, we didn't just wake up and all this happened. I mean, you look at this kind of, we've come a long way. So I think we all know that we have a long ways to go. There's a lot of competition out there. So I'm not going to introduce, you're all dignitaries. Trust me. Couple of things. This is the first time this annual meeting has been streamed live out on the internet. So if you don't want people to know you're here, you need to leave. But we're going fully digital, so we're very pleased with our digital marketing team. Rolando and the team are streaming it out on the internet. I'm going to get right now, and I'm going to introduce, I've got family and friends and colleagues from around the country and the world, but Jim Evans is here. And next year at this time, Jim Evans will be the most popular person in the United States of America. Why is he here today? Because he loves Miami. He knows Miami is the number 2 gateway, international gateway into the United States. Right now, Jim won't say this, but Jim has $110 million in the bank. $110 million in the bank. And this time next year, he'll have $200 or $250 million. And he'll talk a bit about that. But let me talk about my friend Jim Evans. Jim Evans has been in this industry for 30 years. He did the marketing at the Hyatt hotels. I think he had the good sense at one time to hire my wife at Hyatt Hotels, and then when he became the CEO of Best Western International, hired my wife again. So I guess arguably Jim Evans is here today because of my wife, Cindy. So Cindy, I thank you. Jim has he made Christie Alley famous, right? At Jenny Craig, we've been to Jim's home. I met his wife, Sherry, in the desert, and Jim is going to be looking for a condo on Miami Beach very soon. Right, Jim? Yeah, absolutely. So without further ado, I can read the whole bio, but this is a superstar. He's going to be selling foreign travel into the United States. And I want to put a plug in for the Corporation for Travel Promotion. And there's some people in the room, particularly Arthur Hertz, that was critically important to getting this law passed. This law did not get passed for years and years and years. Roger Dow at the TIA, what was TIA and U.S. Travel, really put together a great coalition, and Arthur Hertz was very critical in the early stages of getting momentum. Ultimately, they said this would never pass. The U.S. spent $0 on marketing itself. It will go from the lowest to maybe near the highest, but I want to publicly thank Arthur Hertz for his political leadership and help him get this passed. So Jim doesn't know about that history, but without further ado, my friend, our friend, and a big investor in our community, Jim Evans, the CEO of the Corporation for Travel Promotion. Thank you. Oh, I didn't give him
Good afternoon. Am I on? It's great to be here. It's great to be in beautiful Miami. Bill, that was a great introduction. Cindy, you got all the credit. That's not too bad, huh? We have an opportunity before us. I think we may have, I was talking to Bob Dickinson earlier, I think we may have had this opportunity a couple times in the past, but I think we have an opportunity today like we've never had before. And my purpose in being here today, other than to salute Bill on his 25th anniversary, your 25th anniversary, is to do two things. I want to tell you about the progress we're making at the Corporation for Travel Promotion, and I want to try to convince you that we will only be successful if we find ways of working together. as Bob had said earlier, I think Bob said, we tried this in 1992 and we didn't get it going. I think President Bush, the second President Bush, hired a woman named Charlotte Beers to launch a marketing campaign for the United States, and that didn't work either. So we have our work cut out for us, but I feel momentum today like I've never felt in my life in the travel industry. To add to this introduction, I will tell you, I think I'm one of the luckiest guys in the world to have the opportunity to be a part of the team that's going to brand America and that has an opportunity to build partnerships around our nation and with companies in other countries that promote inbound tourism to our nation. And why is that important? It's important, bear with me, it's important because in the first decade of this century, we lost our way. We were the dominant destination for 50 years since World War II. Everyone wanted to come to America. But in this last destination, we went from a 17.4% market share to an 11.2% market share. And then we bounced a little bit up to 12.4 in 2010. But here's the key issue. The mayor just said it a moment ago. What do we read about every day in the newspaper? We read about jobs. And you can see from this chart that annually our industry lost 467,000 jobs in the first decade. $606 billion in spending in our nation. But despite that, also as the mayor said, both mayors said, Miami has done an incredible job. And I can see why today. This is a great spirit you have in this community. I looked at your lineup of chairman of the board, and I knew George Kirkland really well, and I know Chris Perks, and I know Tom Hewitt, and I look at the others and listen to them speak. There's a spirit in this community that truly will make a difference to our nation as we begin to launch this company. I believe that with all my heart. Can you imagine that you're the number 2 gateway in America, but what Bill told me the other day, I think even more important than that, given today's economy, you have had 15 months of consecutive job growth. We can't say that as a nation. That's worth a round of applause. Because we are our industry, whether you're in the cruise lines or the airlines or the hotel business or you're a tour operator, a receptive operator, whatever your part of this industry is, we're a job engine. Look at all the industries that we affect. I'm sure you know this, but on average, every visitor that comes here from overseas spends $4,000. Every $140,000 spent from our overseas guests creates one new American job. Another way of looking at that is every 35 incremental guests that walk through MIA creates one new job in this community, in South Florida, or somewhere in this great state. So we have to find ways of making this new effort successful. President Obama signed the Travel Promotion Act in March of 2009. The board was assigned a year ago right now. I started 5.5 months ago, and today I'm proud to say that we have a team, as of today, 3 people started. We have a team of 16 people. So we're on our way. But the key is finding ways to work with Orlando and Bill and your team here in Miami, and to work with Chris and his team up in Tallahassee, and to work with the folks across our nation, as I said earlier, in other countries around the world to make this effort work. Because if we make it work, and I'll show you a slide in a minute, if we don't make it work, I should say, we got bigger headaches than that other slide I told you where we lost 6 points in share. The good news is that USTA projects that our industry will grow, overseas international travel will grow by 40% over the next decade. The good news is that we've started this new venture, And we're going to find ways to compete like we never have before. And it's about raising funds, I suppose. But more importantly, it's about taking our best ideas and creating marketing messages like we never have before. And this is why it's so important. If we don't find a way to work together, if we don't find a way to create marketing with the funds we raise to help the Miami CVB be even more successful, if we don't find a way, Chris, to work with your team to make Visit Florida more successful, then these folks will continue to take our share. Can you imagine the country of Turkey has $97 million that they place against the marketplace? The islands of the United Kingdom have just launched in September a $160 million ad campaign they call Great Britain. And President Calderon of Mexico just named the year 2011 the year of tourism. Why? Because Mexico owns the number 10 spot, or the number 10 destination in the world, and he's not happy with that. He wants to be the number 5. His personal goal is to be number 5 in the world by the year 2018. So we need to find ways to make sure that this company helps you in every way that we can, and that you help develop the success of this company. Now, this is a little bit out of sequence, and it's a bit awkward, but let me try to explain this for you. Bill asked me to tell you how we're funded. The first thing I want you to understand is that we receive no taxpayer funds. We receive no taxpayer funds. A year ago in September, because of the Travel Promotion Act, those folks that visit America from visa waiver countries that we have a visa waiver status with, every 2 years pay $14. 10 of those dollars are put in a fund called ESTA, the Electronic System for Travel Authorization. And as Bill pointed out, there's 110. I actually think it's more like $116 million sitting in that account right now. What we have to do at the Corporation for Travel Promotion is we have to raise a dollar from the private sector to access a dollar. So we raise money in cash contributions, we raise funds through cooperative marketing, and we raise funds through in-kind marketing. I think cash is pretty simple. I think cooperative marketing is easy to understand. The in-kind's a little complex. We're working with the Commerce Department now, and that definition will be published before November 7th, which is the day that we announce our new brand name and America's brand identity at World Travel Market in London. So we raise a dollar from the private sector from those three functions, and we collect a dollar from the ESTA fund. But the good news is that in the year 2012 fiscal year, the year we started a few days ago, October 1st, we collect 2 for 1. So this year, we have a responsibility of raising $50 million. 40 of it has to be in kind, 10 of it has to be in cash, and for that we get $100 million. And so, God willing, our budget this year will be somewhere near $150 million. I hope that makes sense to you. If not, then I'd be happy to answer any questions at the reception later on this evening. So here's the issue. You understand how we got together, and we've talked about the competitive arena that we fight in today. We also have other issues. J. Walter Thompson won our account, and in the third pitch that they made, they presented some research. They did research in 9 countries around the world. They did qualitative and quantitative research, and they talked to 3,000 people. And here's what they found. There are many people around the world that think they already know America. It's just too familiar. They are tuned in to America's pop culture. They watch our TV shows at night. They read our magazines. They see our movies. And our name, the United States of America, is in their paper every day. And they think they know us, and they think perhaps we're a bit artificial. Perhaps also they think that we become too focused on security and they interpret that as being unwelcoming. They interpret that as being a bit brash and a bit arrogant. And some of them believe that there are hipper, cooler places today, like China, like Abu Dhabi, and like Dubai. So again, we have our work cut out for us. But there is good news. In this research, they found a group of people in every country that we market in that love America. They love the spirit of our nation. If I can get rid of this, I'm going to read something to you I think is very profound. They say America is the very idea of freedom, diversity, limitless possibilities. They love your can-do spirit. And these folks, some of the times, have never been to America. They just love what we stand for. Can you imagine the social network that we can build with this group of folks? And oh, by the way, there's a man at JWT named Ira Health. Ira is the global head of planning and research and metrics at JWT, and his team estimates this group to be around the world from 200 to 250 million people. Think again about them as a marketing tool for us. And here's the countries that these are more than the countries they did research in, but they extended the research and just estimated what percentage of populations in each of those countries liked America. So you can see, despite the image that we have today, the opportunity is pretty special. So how are we going to market? Well, I just mentioned a moment ago that we're going to launch our brand name at World Travel Market in 2 weeks from today, and our new logo, and I know you're going to love it. Tonight, the chairman of the board of the Corporation for Travel Promotion is meeting with President Obama in Las Vegas to show him all of our new ideas and new thoughts about this great new company. How about the trade shows we can go to? Our new advertising campaign will launch at ITB on March 7th. Think of all the things that we can do together. The earned media. It's estimated at World Travel Market, if we pull it off the way we have planned and the way we have dreamed, it's estimated that the earned media we receive will have a value of $100 million. So we wrap up, we hope, our in-kind marketing just after that show. And so here's a point. I know Bill real well, and despite Cindy, I know Bill's going to hold me accountable. And I know Chris pretty well. I met Chris 6 months ago. We've become fast friends. And I know that the travel industry leaders that live in this room are going to hold us accountable for the monies that we have gathered and the monies we'll spend on their behalf and in partnership with them. So our CMO started on September 20th, not quite certain of the date. On his third day at work, he had a meeting with 10 industry professionals. Dr. Cook, Dr. Suzanne Cook was there. Ira Health was there. Several folks that you might know, and I'm not recalling their names right now, but leaders in research in America in travel industry and leaders in metrics. And they've met once since then because we want to launch our marketing initiatives knowing how we're going to hold ourselves accountable, knowing how you're going to hold us accountable, and knowing how we're going to hold each other accountable as we create cooperative marketing together. So that is a critical and important element, and we want you to know that we know that and that we're already working on the idea of being accountable. So how are we going to work together? I think I've covered that pretty clearly. We're going to do cooperative marketing. We're going to do all sorts of things with trade shows that'll be fun. World Travel Market is our first effort together. And here's how we think we can do it. With our new brand and with our new marketing programs coming together as I speak, we hope to create an overarching brand for the United States of America that you're going to love. And we want that brand to complement what you folks do in Greater Miami, all 35 communities. We want our brands to work well together, and then we want to bring in corporate brands like many that exist here, like Marriott here in this community, so that we're talking about the nation and the destination and the brands all in one. That can be, if we work hard and challenge each other, that can be very effective and very competitive marketing. So the issue is that for us to be successful, we know that we have to be transparent. We know we have to leverage your talents to help us be successful. And we know that we have to hold ourselves accountable to you. So we'll measure our success in very simple ways. We'll measure our success in how we can help in partnership affect your business. In terms of more visitors to Miami, more visitors to Florida. In terms of their spending in retail establishments, on cruise lines, in hotels, in restaurants. And finally, the most important way in today's economy, in jobs. So we've started. I actually began 5.5 months ago, if I didn't mention that. I'm loving this job. We have a great board of directors who are passionate about our success. We have friends like Bill Talbert and Chris Thompson that are passionate about our success. I ask you to be involved, and I assure you that we will do everything in our power to help you be successful and be good partners. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate spending time with you today. It's your 25th anniversary, and you've got one of the best guys in the business right here. Thank you very, very much.
We have a gift for our good friend Jim. It says Greater Miami Convention Visitors Bureau celebrating 25 years of excellence. It's brand new. Only a few of these are out there, but we really appreciate your coming here. And with that said, we have this to give our good friend.
A bag of money.
No, it's a two-way bag. I just want to say that Chris is going to be catching an American Airlines airplane within a couple of hours, so he's going to race back, and he's doing an absolute terrific job. In fact, I got off script. We have one for our two great mayors here, so before you leave. Mayor
Bauer, this one is yours.
Yeah, I got a great staff to remind me what I didn't do. So let's give it up for Jim Evans.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And he mentioned Chris and Chris Thompson. Chris Thompson actually flew in from the west coast of the United States to be here today. He's the CEO of Visit Florida. Arthur Hertz is the former chair of that group. Andrew Hertz is the chair of the marketing committee. Rolando Aedo is chair of the international subcommittee. But on behalf of our industry here, and I think Jim reflected how we feel about Visit Florida, Chris Thompson. Let's thank Chris for being here. I'm now going to introduce our outgoing board chair, Stephen Haas. And I'm just going to say one thing. I've said it a couple times before, but 2 years ago, Stephen Haas said, we're going to work harder than we ever worked in our lives. I mean, what does he know? So then you had the global economic meltdown. You had the great oil spill, which had the potential to ruin our industry, and lots of great things. And in between, Stephen's board chair, and Steve is our first restaurateur who has chaired this bureau. So you're the first, but not the last. Steve has always been there for us, but Steve, at the end of the day, is living a dream. The ultimate dream I think all of us have is to have a vision what we want to do when we all grow up. So Steve has sold everything and started a restaurant, City Hall, the restaurant. So it hasn't been easy. It's been a tough process, but I have more respect, I think, than that I can express here for what you've done, your integrity in this industry, in this entire community. Your issues of diversity, giving back to the community, you're an unsung hero. So Stephen, come on up in here and give us your speech. So.
What a great introduction. Thank you very much, Bill. It has been 2 fantastic years for me as the Bureau's board chair. And despite the challenges of the global recession, I'm pleased to report that this past year has been a year of records, and in many cases, records on records for the Greater Miami's travel and tourism industry. We are definitely seeing the results of the Bureau's most aggressive and marketing and promotional efforts ever made. Now let me get right to the point, and please bear with me because I'm reading from my notes, as I don't normally read from notes, but I don't want you to miss anything. So here we go. Greater Miami The Beaches welcomes a record 13.2 million overnight visitors during the past 12 years, a 7.2 increase over the previous year. A record, it's worth the applause, a record 12.8 million room nights sold in the past 12 months. That's a 9.4 increase over the previous year. Convention and Development Tax Collections, or the CDT, reached a record $52.7 million. That's 15.3 increase over the previous year. The CDT, by the way, is the tourist tax collected countrywide. Record summer hotel occupancy for June, July, and August is 73.4%. It's an increase of 11.2% over the summer of 2010. Record jobs of 107,600 people were employed. The leisure and hospitality industry, as of August 2011, represents 15 consecutive months of increased employment. These are just a few of the records set over the last 12 months. New and expanded Bureau programs play a key role, including the summer program that's particularly dear to my heart, called Miami Spice. This year, Miami Spice was more popular and successful than it's ever been. As the father of Miami Spice, or at this point probably the grandfather of Miami Spice, I'm very proud to say that the program has exceeded expectations on every level since it was launched through the Bureau 10 years ago. On a personal note, many of you now know I opened my own restaurant this year, approaching the summer, called City Hall, the restaurant. In the past, the summer was not considered the best time to open a new business. And I have to admit, I had a lot of concerns. The good news that along with the summer comes Miami Spice, which turned out to be the perfect program and timing for the opening of my new restaurant. Business was beyond anything I could ever hope for. That same experience was shared by many fellow restaurateurs and owners who told me that Miami Spice business was off the charts this year, and that is exactly why the Bureau launched the Miami Spice program 10 years ago. It was to stimulate summer business. The Bureau has used the successful model of the Miami Spice to create multiple programs over the past years to generate summer business and ultimately year-round tourism. Miami Museum Month, Miami Spa Month, Miami Attractions Month, all were added to the portfolio of special monthly marketing promotions. On the heels of the success of these programs, this fiscal year, the Bureau introduced Miami Live Music Month in November and Miami Romance Month in June, which launched the Bureau's most comprehensive summer marketing promotional ever, the Summer of Love. We actually gave away a $150,000 winning at the Biltmore this year. Another great example of the expanded marketing partnership is the Miami Where Worlds Meet program. This partnership of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Miami-Dade County, Beacon Council, American Airlines, and the Miami International Airport, as well as the Downtown Development Authority and the Port of Miami, has allowed the Bureau to leverage its dollars. Entering its fourth year, the incremental marketing program invests $2 million annually to promote Greater Miami and the beaches as a destination to live, work, and play. And for those who know me well, which a lot of people in this audience I think does, you know how passionate I am about customer service. Have you seen my tagline, my signature on my emails? It's all about hospitality. That's H-A-A-S, Patality. It's a top priority in my business and should be in everyone's business in Miami. While marketing promotion programs attract visitors to our destination, excellence in customer service helps keep visitors coming back. The Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, Miami Begins With Me, customer service program facilitated by the Miami-Dade College Center for the Service Excellence was launched by one of our former board chairs, Maria Sastry, more than 5 years ago, and it's making great strides to raise the bar for customer service. In addition to the Bureau's partnership with the Miami International Airport, which requires that all 35,000 employees takes the Miami Begins With Me MIA program, customer service training, and a similar program at the Port of Miami, this year the Bureau partnered with Miami-Dade County Consumer Affairs to bring Miami Begins With Me customer service training to all new taxi cab drivers, as well as those renewing their licenses. We also proudly partner with the City of Miami Beach, with the tourism hotline run by Michael Adler, as you all know, Mr. Miami Beach. That's another amazing person, Michael Adler, who truly believes in giving back and giving to customer service. I want to thank Michael. I don't think Michael's actually here today, is he? The customer service programs are making a difference in the visitor surveys, indicating record levels of satisfaction. And speaking of satisfaction, it gives me great personal satisfaction to know that the opening of my restaurant, you know City Hall, the restaurant, I added 103 new jobs into our community. As you all know, small businesses is the backbone of our community. When we look at the cross-section of travel and tourism jobs, it becomes very clear that many are employed and entrepreneurs who found opportunities for their businesses in our travel and tourism industry. At the end of the day, it's all about jobs. While we are in the travel and tourism industry have a lot to be proud of, perhaps the greatest achievement of all is that despite the global economic recession, our travel and tourism industry generated new jobs for our community for the last 15 consecutive months. I'm really proud to say that the Miami brand is stronger than ever, and I look forward to a very positive and exciting future for this industry. Before I introduce our new incoming chair, I'd like to take a moment to thank you all for the privilege of serving as the chairman of the board for the Bureau. Without a doubt, we have achieved some of the greatest successes and faced our most serious challenges during my 2-year tenure. It has been a very rewarding experience, and I look forward to remaining involved. And again, I'd like to thank all of you here today for the support and partnership of the Bureau. Without you, we could not have done it. Kimberly, please join me on stage. Kimberly Wilson, everyone.
Thank you.
It is my great pleasure to introduce the incoming chair of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, Kimberly Wilson.
Thank you.
I got a lot to say about Kimberly. You're not going to believe all of this.
Chop, chop.
Kimberly is the area general manager to the Miami Airport Marriott campus. As an accomplished professional for over 23 years of experience in hotel industry, she currently represents all Miami managed hotels in Miami-Dade County and others on behalf of the Marriott's South Florida Business Council, which is the council that carries out the company's social responsibilities and community relation endeavors. Kimberly also serves as the chair of the advisory board for the Academy of Hospitality and Tourism and is the immediate past chair of the Greater Miami and the Beaches Hotel Association. Her accomplishments include many improvements within numerous Marriott hotels, achieving high sales and profit growth, increasing market share, improving guest satisfaction survey scores, and being responsible for 38 managed and 57 franchise extended stay hotels. She has received many awards throughout the years, to include the 2009 Advisory Board Champion Award from the Academy in Hospitality Tourism, the General Manager of the Year, 2 Living the Vision Awards, and the Financial Excellence Award. You have time for this?
It's my job. Yeah.
Prior to her current assignment, she was the area general manager for the Biscayne Bay Marriott, general manager for the South Beach Marriott, regional VP of Extended Stays Hotel in the Western Region, and the general manager for Scottsdale Marriott at McDonald Mountains. I'm exhausted. Kimberly, it's my pleasure, my absolute pleasure, to pass the baton as the board chair of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau over to you. I know that your leadership will take the Bureau and our travel tourism industry into the future with confidence and with pride. Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you, Stephen Haas.
Make it happen.
Yes, sir. Stay with me. What a tough act to follow, yes? Well, good afternoon, everyone. And Steve, please stay with me for just a moment. Bill Talbert, could you please join us on the stage? Just a small token of our appreciation. And while we wait, if you haven't been to City Hall, it's absolutely amazing. 20th and Biscayne Boulevard. Please go visit Stephen's Restaurant.
Lunch, dinner, gospel brunch on Sundays.
2 for 1 tonight. On behalf of Kimberly, myself, and the entire industry and the Bureau, we know one of your favorite activities from the cruise capital of the world is cruising with you and your partner. So with that said, it's going to be a 2-week cruise.
Got it?
This is not the...
They don't understand. I just took my 37th cruise.
This is actually the boat you'll be on, so it's very small. But with that said,
I'm on a diet.
2-week cruise, but congratulations, Steve.
Oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Better have a balcony.
Enjoy, enjoy. It's already booked. A balcony is a must, absolutely. Well, like Mayor Bauer, I do love to speak from my heart, but I do have a few notes I want to share with you today. And I also really just want to say thank you to so many people today. Really, what a vote of confidence to be standing here with you today and becoming the incoming chair of this amazing organization. We're going to do great things together. And Stephen, you did an amazing job in very challenging times. You and I were talking earlier about 2009. Thank goodness it's behind us, but it's hard to believe that we lived through all that together. I want to first begin by thanking the Board of Directors for your vote of confidence and support. I look forward to working with all of you and continuing the journey that Stephen started. So if we could just take a moment and ask our Board of Directors to stand and be recognized. You're the ones that I work for. So if you're on our board, please stand and be recognized. I know you're here. Thank you. Thank you all very much. I'd also like to recognize our committee chairs who do a lot of hard work on this side as well. Debbie Castillo, our Regional Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Lowe's Miami Beach. I know Debbie's here. I saw her earlier. Greg Cook, General Manager for the Eden Rock Renaissance Resort Hotel and Spa, the new chair of the Convention Sales Committee. Greg, I know you're here with us today. Mr. Arthur Hertz, CEO and Chairman, Wometco Corporation, Chair of our Finance Committee. Thank you for keeping us in line. And Carol Ann Taylor, President of Miami To Go, Chair of our Community Relations Committee. Carol Ann, thank you. Before I do share a few goals with you this afternoon, I want to recognize the two most important people in my life who are here with me today. And the first would be my mother, Dorothy, who has been my inspiration my entire life. Many of you know her as baking the pound cakes around Marriott World. If you haven't had one, I promise to get you one as soon as possible. Mother, thank you for being such an inspiration. I hope I grow up to be just like you. And my husband, David, I couldn't have chosen a better partner. He's been with me along my Marriott journey for 23 years, 9 of which we've been with all of you here. But always willing to go whatever road life takes us. I love you very much, both of you. Thank you very, very much. And I'm very fortunate to have a lot of Marriott partners and friends with me here today. Mr. Marriott gives us great pride in serving our community. So all of my Marriott friends, would you please stand and be recognized? I know there are many of you here today, and we represent this community well. Wow, thank you. So many of you have known me the 9 years I've been here. I started with Mayor Bauer on Miami Beach and continued the journey all the way to the airport, wherever Marriott takes me. And as we continue to make Miami the number one destination, I do want to share a few highlights with you on some important goals. First, I believe one of our top priorities has to be to support the efforts for the passage of the visa waiver program. You heard Jim Evans mention it. The Bureau developed a resolution recently urging the federal government to extend visa waiver status to Argentina, Brazil, and Chile. Additionally, the Miami-Dade County Board of County Commissioners, thank you, and many other partner organizations have issued a resolution in support of the visa waiver program as well. So thank you all for that. We must continue our efforts there. And as many of you may know, Bill Talbert chairs the U.S. Travel Association's Brazil Committee and is leading efforts to secure the support needed for the passage of visa waiver. Bill, thank you for your tireless efforts. We're with you all the way, and we'll continue the journey. As the number 2 international port of entry into the U.S., passage of the visa waiver program would almost immediately increase overnight visitors to Greater Miami and the beaches, especially from Brazil, as you know now, which is our number 1 market in Latin America and became our first billion-dollar market in 2010. Miami has the unique privilege of welcoming the highest percentage of international visitors of any destination in the U.S. Almost half, or 48% of our overnight visitors, come from international markets. And this year, the Bureau is increasing our international in-market representatives to 34 countries around the globe to provide intelligence as well as sales and marketing support. Many of our representatives are here with us today, and I encourage you to get to know them. They're right here to my left, so please meet them during our reception. Thank you all for being with us very much. It's also important to note that our international visitors are often here attending meetings and conventions. I'm pleased to share with you that this past year we've seen increased attendance at meetings and conventions, and the good news is group business is back. Financial, medical, insurance, and pharma have returned in a big way. As a hotelier, I can tell you that 2011 was a record breaker for many of our hotels, and again, we thank you for your support. The Bureau's convention sales team achieved a 20-year record for leads and bookings, and 2012 is looking very good as well. So Ida and your team, thank you very much for your tireless efforts. We continue to work with our partners on plans to make the Miami Beach Convention Center competitive and look forward to seeing progress this coming year. We'll just continue that journey as we move along. And speaking of the upcoming year, let's not forget the major sporting events that will help drive occupancy and room nights into our destination. When we look at the many records set in the past 12 months, it becomes crystal clear that our greatest challenge, like many, will be sustaining success. Mr. Marriott says success is never final. If you work for him, you know. Recognizing that the power and strength of the Miami brand is our greatest marketing asset, the Bureau is working with our branding agency and volunteer leadership on the evolution of our Miami brand. We look forward to sharing details with you in the months ahead. From the evolution of the Miami brand to capitalizing on the digital revolution, the Bureau is moving into the new year with aggressive plans to stay ahead of the competition. No matter what, we have to stay ahead. We all know the importance of the internet to the travel industry, and your Bureau has committed to tripling its investment in digital marketing. Just days ago, the Bureau completed an RFP process to identify the best-in-breed digital marketing partner for website development, search engine marketing and optimization, mobile applications, and social media. We will make an announcement on our digital marketing partners in the weeks ahead. As many of you know, the GMCVB has had tremendous success in developing a portfolio of niche marketing programs, as Steve mentioned earlier. We added 2 new programs during the last 12 months, Miami Live Music Month and Miami Romance Month. Steve, it gives me great pleasure to announce that in the coming year, the Bureau will add 2 more programs to highlight our golf assets and many successful film festivals and independent movie houses that call Miami home. In closing, I'd like you to know that your inputs and ideas are important to me. With this in mind, we at the Bureau will establish a forum where you, our stakeholders, will have an opportunity to share your ideas and suggestions on how we as a board can meet your expectations moving forward. I thank you for your support and your partnership and looking forward to the next 2 years of continued success for Miami Destination. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Mr. Town. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kimberly. Let me give you a little history now. We said it was 25 years ago that the Bureau started. I'm going to try and give you an encapsulated version. But in June of 1982, at the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce Goals Conference in Palm Beach at the Breakers, Jorge, Sid Levin, past chair of the Bureau, Secretary of Commerce, County Commissioner, had an idea that this community needed a unified message and a unified organization. And that was one of the major takeaways, Barry, at the Goals Conference in 1982. Walter Revel was the chair. And Sid then was appointed, of course, Sid's idea, the first chair of the Tourism Committee. And in December of 83, an evolution occurred in Sid's leadership. And there were a number of folks involved in the early days. And this evolved into an organization that was formed, the precursor to the Bureau, in December of 83. And Steve Sonnabend was the first head of that organization. And then arrives, as part of this process, Merritt Sterheim, to put the pieces together in terms of, let's call it, the elected officials. And the industry, and there were a number of folks involved: Steve Muss, Stuart Blumberg, Donnie Lefton, Skippy Shepard, Bob Dickinson, who was here earlier, Ziggy Zilber, Jim Redford, and Gene Westfall, I think, is still here. We're all involved, and Chris Perks, a lot of people. Remember, success has many parents, failure is an orphan. So I leave somebody's name out that was critical in this, and I don't do that intentionally. But a lot of people got together, but it started at the Greater Miami Chamber's Goals Conference. And Steve Sonnabend became the chair of that precursor. And then, with a lot of hard work, thank you, Merritt, and your colleagues, in 1985-86, the Bureau was formed, the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau Incorporated. Now, the first chair of that organization was Steve Sonnabend. So Steve was here earlier. And we went, and Steve was our first chair. And then if you'll see on the slides, our subsequent chairs. And by the way, Steve Sonnabend is still, as a former board chair, you continue to serve. I think Steve has been at every board meeting since that first year. 25 years. I mean, that's something, that's a lesson for all of us. You're never too old, too young, too smart, too uninvolved, but Steve has not missed a board meeting in 25 years and still very active in the chamber. Followed by Steve Nostrand, who was involved in the marketing committee, and Steve was the second chair. And after that was Donnie Lefton. Donnie Lefton. We all know Donnie, and Donnie ultimately became the chair of that first powwow we had. Remember that powwow? Was that a sweet powwow? And then after Donnie Lefton, Dorothy Weaver, our first female chair. Dorothy did great, very energetic, gave us great leadership. And after Dorothy Weaver was Sidney Levin. Huh? Is out of order? Who was first? Okay. Chris was third, and then Sid. We were dyslexic at that point, I guess we were doing. So, and then, it was the previous slide, Christopher Perks. So pretend we showed Chris before. Lisa, will you cover for me, please? Go for it. Oh, thank you. Chris, you look, gosh, Chris, how do you stay so young? Lisa, okay. Keep going. Richard Fain. Goodness. Richard, chair of a Fortune, 100 company, and was a great chair. They're all great chairs, and they're all different. That's the beauty of chairs. None of them are alike. That's what gives us energy in terms of the staff. They're all different. Next is Tom Hewitt, part of the Continental Companies, former head of Sheridan North America, is up at what's his company called there? Huh? Well, the Continental Companies, but Tom is a great industry leader, and I think is starting to smell some of the roses. And Tom gave us great leadership from the Continental Companies. Next, Adolfo Enriquez. Adolfo was going to be here earlier, but his wife double booked an event with his family tonight. So he called me earlier, and so we'll give him, he did call. Family first, right? Family first. And Adolfo is along with the mayor, Alex Vilak, are the tri-chairs of the One Community, One Goal. I know Alex was here earlier, and I'm sorry, you moved. Alex Vilak's with the Miami Herald Media Corporation are the tri-chairs for the One Community, One Goal, and you're going to see more about that, and the Bureau is very much involved in that and investor in that project as well. After Adolfo, Tony Goldman. Goodness. I mean, Tony Goldman, obviously one of the fathers, mothers, grandfathers of South Beach, a great guy, and I spoke with Tony a few days ago. He has a new pacemaker, not a new pacemaker, he's got a pacemaker in. So he said he's going to be around for a long time. So when you see Tony, he's going to be back in town next week. The guy now is going to solve all the problems in Detroit. Tony. But you gotta love Tony Goldman's and his pioneer spirit and the contributions he made to our community. After Tony, Don Peebles, our first African American chair. Don was a great. They're all great chairs, all different. And I spoke to Don last month, and he is doing very well with his now old family getting older. That's I said, Don, that's what happens as time goes on. And after Don, Maria Sastry, and she was just here. She's on an American Airlines jet as we speak, Dawn, flying back to her job with Signature. So, and Maria, not only a great colleague, but a great friend, our first Hispanic female. And we don't now talk about firsts or seconds or thirds. It's what this community is. It's about diversity. It's about inclusion. We don't even say that anymore. You know, I'm a minority now, but and proud of it. But I've been here 40 years. 40 years. So after my friend Maria, Gene Prescott. Somebody said, "Where's Gene?" Gene has a mediation hearing this afternoon about you know what and you know where. Do I need to say more, George? Can I leave that alone? Yeah. But our prayers are with Mr. Prescott, so we understand. A great community leader. And also, by the way, very much involved. We talked about the Corporation for Travel Promotion, very much involved in the political process in D.C., and I think Arthur would acknowledge that in getting that act passed. It wasn't easy. It was not easy. It was painful, and it got done. And thank you, Gene, and thank you, Arthur. Next. Stephen Haas. You look different, Stephen. Huh? Well, that's before the restaurant. He now is a past chair, but those are our past chairs, and let's give them a round of applause. And Kimberly, you'll be there in 2 years, but it's a fast 2 years, right, Steve? We're going to now get to our close. Everybody ready for the close? Huh? Who was that? Let me have also, I don't do this enough, to thank the Bureau staff, the best sales and marketing team on the face of the planet. Please stand up, everybody. Please stand up. All the Bureau team. And if you don't believe how valuable you are, these folks are, travel with them. The entire world is after these people. These are the best salespeople around. They all want to take them from us, and we're not going to let that happen. We're not. Let's hear it again for the staff. There have been 4 CEOs. The first, Jerry Cowper, George Kirkland, great leader who's passed on, did great things. Then came Merritt Stearheim as the third CEO. And I think, as everyone knows, I am here because of Merritt Stearheim, and I say that every day. I worked 18 continuous, wonderful, wonderful years. I used to say it was longer than his marriages, but now it's I can't say that anymore. I think you just had 25 years? 30 years, you and Judy? Let's hear it for them. Goodness. You know, but Merritt helped build the foundation, helped put this team that's largely still here at the Bureau. So we've tweaked it, we've evolved it. We've gone to the Internet. There's now the Internet and digital. And so thank you, Merritt. Thank you, Judy. Thank you. I want to thank everybody. Now, we're closing, I promise, because everybody wants to get to the bar, right? And Diageo is here. Thank you to Diageo. Virginia Sanchez, I think most of you know Virginia. And she's buying all the drinks tonight. We're not. Diageo is. Is that okay, Mayor? That's okay. That's okay. There's a wall mural outside. I think you may have seen, and there's a great thing, and Sid Levin actually mentioned it to me. This 25 years, which was put together by Rolando and the marketing team, which chronicles not everything, the stuff missing, but it's been, as the mayor said, quite a ride, huh? It's been quite a ride, and here we are, clearly one of the top destinations in the world. It's ours to lose, but there's a fold-out outside. You can get it. We have our annual report that you'll all get out there before you leave. This annual report is a Fortune 50 quality annual report, and your sales team. So this is a great thing. This is a keeper, put in your scrapbook. And if anybody remembers our motto back then, tourism is everybody's business. Anybody remember that? Anybody remember a video that ran in 1992? Remember a kind of a little commercial, a PSA? Roll the PSA, please. We're getting close to the end. Roll it.
Hi, this is Nestor Torres with news that is music to my ears. Tourism in Greater Miami has increased for the 7th straight year. Last year, we attracted more than 10 million visitors to Greater Miami, and they spent more than $7 billion in our community. Now, what does that mean to you? It means jobs, thousands of jobs. Between the airlines, hotels, restaurants, and all the businesses that support them, tourism accounts for a third of the jobs in Greater Miami. Now, tourism means tax support, too. In fact, visitors account for more than 37% of all state sales taxes generated in Greater Miami. Taxes that pay for schools, roads, and public transportation. If it weren't for tourism, each of us who call Miami our home, every man, woman, and child would have to pay an additional $200 in taxes. So yes, tourism is definitely music for Greater Miami, and taking care of our visitors is everybody's business.
Nestor! Nestor, you haven't changed from that video. Nestor said $7 billion. It is now $17 billion in this community.
Miami for quite some time. I am now teaching at Florida International University, which got me the very first Cuban music ensemble class in South Florida, the first one. We're very pleased to be with Puerto Rican. And so now, the most important thing to me right now is that we're celebrating the first 25 years of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. And of course, this is a departure towards the next 25, next 50. For me, it's also a departure in that I am finally on the way. We have started the Nestor Torres Foundation. And is to inspire and empower positive social and cultural change through music, education, and dialogue. Now, I'm going to play one more song. I know some of you are impatient when I get going with this. You've been talking about jobs. You're talking about how it is that we need to make people feel welcome to our town. Our youth and our employees need to not only be trained to make sure that we get the money from the tourism, but we need to make them feel passionate and really have a strong sense of mission about what they're doing.
And so with what we're doing with the foundation through music education and so through other projects, we really want to be able to focus on that. There's one more thing. I'm sure you have all heard so many things about how we do not have enough money for music education and so on and so forth. The foundation, Nestor Torres Foundation, wants to not just complain about it or stand up and speak out, but to contribute and somehow create opportunities for us to support the county, Greater Miami, to support the efforts in musical education as it is. So, Nestor Torres Foundation.org. We have a wonderful, huge event to launch the foundation, 11/11/11 at the South Miami-Dade Cultural Arts Center. I'll be joined by all youth. It's going to be the Greater Miami Youth Symphony. We're going to have the Miami Children's Chorus. Members from the World School of the Arts are going to be with us. It's going to be a huge concert based on the music that we did 5 years ago, Dances, Prayers, and Meditations for Peace. Look, folks, in Miami, like you notice, things are always late in coming in. We've had a tremendous amount of challenges. I really hope that some of you as friends, we can get back in touch and so you can help me really begin again to really make this new departure of my being here in Miami together with my fiancée, Wanda Jimenez, which another Puerto Rican wonderful woman that I brought her from Los Angeles. I almost left to Los Angeles, but we decided to be here. So with that, I'm going to give you one more song representing both what we are about in terms of the mixture of cultures, what this wonderful venue represents, and towards the next future or the next 25 years of the Miami Convention Bureau. Just imagine, Bach, Beethoven, and Haydn taking a cruise ship from Barcelona, arriving in Miami, going to Wynwood, running to some Puerto Rican musicians. They're jamming so much that they miss the boat on the way back to Europe. It would sound something like this. Go. much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Play the first song on that CD. I want you to play the first song. Because you know what? I really got to know about that commercial. So we got to do something right now. Start playing that first song from that same CD. Folks, you're going to follow me.
Follow Nestor.
Let's go. Really loud, right there. Let's go. Time to drink and to eat.